Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we don't currently really have any irons in the fire. So it's time to requisition some irons, I think. Let's hop into the R&D here and see if we currently have anything that we want to grab here. Scanning tech wouldn't be bad for the spectrovariometer, and I think that might be what we end up going for, just to continue raking in that science. Oh, before we head into the VAB, I actually wanted to double check our contracts here. Let's take a quick look at what is available. An orbital station around Minmus. Now, that is not something that we need to do in the overall plan for this particular series, so we'll hold off on that. A simple scan. Great Flats, Greater Flats, or Lowlands biomes, those are on Minmus. So that would be a rover to Minmus. That's not currently something I'm super interested in. A satellite in synchronous orbit of Eve, with a magnetometer and thermometer. I think I'll go ahead and grab this. We're not going to do it immediately, I think, but that is an interesting mission. We are planning on putting up some new satellites, so that wouldn't be bad. And then we do need to put in a new orbital station around the moon. Flag on Minmus, and we need to go back to Minmus. That is a thing, because we have additional science to do there. So we could go back to Minmus. If we were to do that, that would be a bit of a repeat. One thing I'm kind of thinking is we need to do a communication satellite around Minmus, and that would be with our upgraded communications. So maybe we should open up the France Comsat here and go ahead and do that, instead of this for the communication satellite with the high gain antenna. We would remove that, and we would remove the mystery goo, because that is not necessary to have on there. And instead, we would put on something like the RA-15 relay antenna. That is, of course, quite large and off-center. There we go. So we would have to redo our fairing for this, but that is something that we could definitely do. The question is, this isn't going to be our final variant of the ComSat, that's for sure, because we don't yet have access to something like ion propulsion. I don't think we're actually going to do this right now. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Minmus one last time, or, well, maybe not even one last time. There might be another trip to Minmus, but I think we're going to go there, drop off our science, and do our magnetometer and atmospheric fluid spectrovariometer readings, which is, of course, this guy right here. Do you require an atmosphere? I don't believe you do. Okay. Sounds good to me. We'll put it right there for now, but of course, we're going to want to put it in the service bay. And I think... where in the service bay do we want to put it? Just in the center? It is a physics-less part. Just trying to see if that's actually oriented correctly. It is not. Okay. So something along the lines of that-ish, except I believe that's upside down. Like that-ish? I mean, it's really crammed in there. It's not exactly, you know, obeying the laws of physics, but I think it'll be okay. I think we'll go ahead and do that. And we'll take this to Minmus, and if we're going to Minmus, then we should definitely be bringing Jeb and Bob, because they have not been to Minmus. Indeed. Plant flag on the moon is worth 5 XP, at least for a pilot. 6 for Minmus. Yeah, so planting flags is a lot of XP. Noted. I didn't realize that, but knowing that is important. We mostly only care about XP right now for our pilots, though, so that's fine. We'll go ahead and launch this, and we'll head off to Minmus, get one more landing done there, and then we'll put our sights on something a little bit higher, because we need a little bit more science to get the cupola module that I would like to put into the station around the moon and around... do we need one around Kerbin? I don't think we do. Oh yeah, we have to, in order to run this, we have to open up the service bay. There we go. We'll keep that. We'll close our service bay, and we will go ahead and collect that. Fantastic. And I guess we may as well grab the atmospheric analysis again and recover this, right? Just to grab this launch pad science. It's not particularly valuable science, but it also doesn't cost us anything. So that should be fine. We'll grab, what, like 10 science from that? Something like that? 7 science? Sure. That's fine. I mean, we could theoretically... We do have the science for the cupola module. That said, we'll come back to that in a moment. Or, well, in a moment, more like next episode. I do want to get started on our mining operation around the moon and get ourselves a nice refueling location. That will be useful when we're doing our interplanetary missions, and that is absolutely something that we want to do. I want to double check our cargo storage, and yeah, this looks good. That looks fantastic. So let's go ahead and launch this. We do, of course, need to get some, I believe we need some low and high atmosphere analysis. I'm only going to grab the one because we can only store one of each. I'm going to go ahead and, for right now, open this service bay. There we go. And SAS on, throttled up. Up we go. We grab the atmosphere analysis and we close the service bay. There we go. And next time we launch, we can do that again. We're currently moving at about 100 meters per second, so let's go ahead and start pitching over. Or, well, it's technically yawing over. We'll yaw on over. Very, very gently as we approach the prograde marker. Excellent. We are, of course, moving pretty quickly, and I'm slightly concerned about opening the bay doors. Ooh, we're definitely drifting a bit here. Jeb, give me a hand here, bud. Thank you. Our inclination is going to be a little off, but we'll have to change our inclination to go to Minmus anyway, so that's completely fine. We'll just go ahead and lock prograde for now. Our apoapsis is plenty high. Okay, so we're currently in flying high. Let's go ahead and open this really fast. There we go. We apparently can't do the atmospheric analysis. Okay, I'll close it. I'm not sure why we can't do the atmospheric analysis, but I guess that's fine. We'll go ahead and stop this burn now, and we will get ourselves done here. Something like this. Okay, that'll do. And we'll go ahead and orient over at that node. That is going to be some level of burn time. We'll find out in a bit. I'm definitely curious why we couldn't run the atmospheric analysis. Oh, I know why. I'm a moron is the answer, and we need to collect the data. There we go. Wow, I'm dumb. I mean, we already knew that. That's not new news. And we're not going to collect this atmospheric analysis. We'll hold off on that one. We are attempting to make our way over to the maneuver node here. We should be able to do that relatively soon. And I'm actually going to leave the service bay open for now. Yeah, there's no atmosphere to analyze in space, of course, and I don't think we can run this on Minmus either. So this is a 58-second burn. I'm going to just freeze physics. There we go. 58-second burn, so T minus, what is that, 29 seconds? Yeah, T minus 29 seconds is when we want to burn this. That is fine. We have oriented for it, and so let's go ahead and warp towards T minus 29 seconds. I warped right on past it, because I'm a moron. Well, we knew that, and we're fine. It's not a huge deal. We'll get plenty of delta V for this. Absolutely no worries about our delta V amounts. So the node is going to be being hit in about, well, now, technically. There we go. Yeah, that's not too terrible, ultimately. And we'll just, of course, make our way on into orbit. Our speed is getting on up there. And this is wonderful. Technically, we don't need the KER window open. There we go. And off we go. With our maneuvering stage here, I'm going to go ahead and ditch these guys in a nice fiery explosion. Wonderful. And I believe I overshot slightly. Yeah, that's fine. We are in orbit, and it's all good. So let's go ahead and set Minmus as our target, and let's see here. We are currently basically at the descending node. I'm going to wait until we're at the ascending node, just because of timing. And let's go ahead and run the other direction. We need to go anti-normal here, looks like. And change our inclination to be about right here. That'll do. And of course, Jeb, not having been to Minmus yet, does not have the skill to lock to the maneuver node or to the anti-radial node, so we'll just have to position that manually, and then we will head on over to that next maneuver. Excellent. So about 350 meters per second here, and we want to do this at T minus 22 seconds. Let's go ahead and warp towards that. Okay, here in about 10 seconds. And let's commence that burn right about now. And off we go. Changing that sweet, sweet inclination. Yeah, this seems completely fine to me. No concerns thus far. We're drifting a little bit off of the anti-radial node, but that's not super shocking, all things considered. So yeah, we are definitely off to Minmus. And we'll just have Jeb replace the flag there as well, because we do need to plant a flag on Minmus, and we definitely want Jeb to get XP. We may want to have everybody plant a flag, though, now that we know that we get XP from that. I can't believe that was something I didn't know, but it definitely was something that I didn't know. Okay, good enough. Good enough. Yep, absolutely. Okay, so Minmus is there. We're probably going to have to wait in orbit here, and that's fine. No, I don't want to target the ComSat. Let's set Minmus as our target, and focus on... close enough. And we will definitely do a prograde burn sometime around here. It might have to be a little bit later in the burn. Let's see. Yeah, a little later in the burn. I'm not super surprised by that, but this is decent. Okay, let's take a look at that encounter. Looks halfway decent. Let's tweak our final periapsis. We don't need to be going quite that quick. And we can maybe do a little bit of radial changing here. Yeah, I mean, that kind of works, but we'll be coming in essentially polar doing that. Let's not do that. And let's instead change our normal here. Bring that up to be around there. And then tweak our prograde and retrograde a bit. Yuck. Let's adjust this over Minmus. Let's just adjust it over Minmus. It'll be fine. This tweaking is kind of awkward, so we'll do it somewhere around here. I mean, maybe we'll want to change our inclination. This is just indicating that our inclination is a little awkward, but, well, more like our timing is awkward, right? But let's bring up our inclination to be roughly equatorial-ish, and then we'll mess with it from there. Close enough. That'll do. Okay, let's get in position for that. Something along the lines of this. That's not quite the angle I was going for. We'll go for that one. Fantastic. And let's warp towards that maneuver. Wonderful. So we're going to want to burn this at T minus 30 seconds plus 26 seconds, so 56 seconds. And that'll be fine. Absolutely fine. This position right there, and then warp towards T minus 56 seconds. And right on the money, pretty much. Maybe slightly late there. I was definitely slightly late on the stopping the time warp, but it's fine. We should be a-okay. And of course, we're changing our inclination pretty dramatically here, and like I said, that's mostly just a timing thing. It's okay. We're just going to be coming in. We're still going to be a bit inclined, but I don't exactly care. We'll change that once we get in a bit closer. It's not like we're going to be lacking Delta V, and it's not like moving around in Minmus is expensive, right? So I'm not concerned about it. If we were going to Eve, I'd want to be a little more careful. And of course we will be going to Eve pretty soon, because we're going to be positioning a satellite in synchronous orbit of Eve. And that's great. And I want to check here. Yeah, that should not be a problem. Not at all. Excellent. So we have about 500 more meters per second to get to Minmus. And that's okay. I do want to check what our actual inclination is here. This isn't saying. Fascinating. Oh, because I set it to moon. Should be Minmus. There we go. It's still not saying, but that's fine. You can see here our inclination is definitely a little wacky, a little off of the Minmus inclination. And I think I probably had the wrong thing targeted, didn't I? Or something like that when I set the inclination. It's fine. It's completely fine. This is actually going to be a moon encounter, and that is not particularly helpful. We are going to see about not having that. Uh-huh. So, I mean, this does get us pretty close to Minmus. There's also a moon encounter there. I'm interested in potentially going a bit retrograde here. Like I said, I'm not concerned about our DV amounts. We've got plenty. Let's go a tiny bit retrograde and move this on in. To be something along the lines of... Well, that's coming up again. Okay. We should probably point a little bit radial, perhaps. Let's head over towards the radial marker. I'm not sure which way we actually want to go here, but we'll experiment and find out. I'm actually not sure technically whether this is radial or anti-radial. Don't go to retrograde, Jeb. Thank you. You can just stay put. Don't fight me on this. Yeah, we want to go to the other one. So up we go. That is fine. And I guess we'll swing by the moon on the way. Not like that'll be, you know, super useful for us, but it's fine. We'll just move on up over here and rotate our orbit ever so slightly. Yeah, this'll do. So that is an escape. Not tremendously helpful, is it? Well, maybe we should, at the moon periapsis, do a little bit of a tweak. Yeah, that's not tremendously helpful. I really messed up the inclination, but it's fine. So we'll do something along the lines of this. And that's at the moon periapsis. It'll do. It will absolutely do. We'll go ahead and warp to that. Hello, moon. What did I even have selected instead of Minmus for this inclination? I kind of want to go back and check. I clearly did something wrong, but I don't actually care. We can still make it there. We've got plenty of Delta V. Okay. So we will position over here, burn about 33 meters per second, and we'll want to burn that in just a couple of seconds here. So we'll warp towards T-minus 1 second. Okay. And we'll go ahead and burn this right about now. How'd that do? Good enough. Okay. And then in Minmus, of course, we'll need to burn down to be something along the lines of this. We'll bring it down to around 20k. There we go. Like I said, good enough. I clearly messed something up because I wasn't really paying attention. I'm pretty sure that's what that was. We'll go ahead and warp here. Goodbye, moon. Thanks for the gravity assist that I kind of didn't want. So off we go, and we are going to cancel that time warp. There we go. Warp to that maneuver. Perfect. That's going to be a pure retrograde burn. Excellent. And we can grab our mystery goo observation from In Space High, our materials study, and our magnetometer report. Excellent. And we're going to make this burn in just a moment here. Let's go ahead and warp forward towards that. We'll get that magnetometer report. And we should have been burning already, but that's fine. We'll just bring this right on down. Excellent. Get trapped by Minmus's gravity, and good enough. Fantastic. I kind of want to have Bob EVA here. And have him... Can he reach this from where he is? Can only retract the boom. Okay. I was hoping that he'd be able to collect that, but I think I already collected it up here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. At any rate, we are now in orbit over Minmus. Our inclination is actually non-terrible. We're in a decent position. This is 1 hour away, though. I'm a little concerned about the Terminator line here, but I think we're actually fine. If we were to, around here, change our inclination like so, that would be pretty decent for our landing. So let's go ahead and warp to that. That's only 23 meters per second. Okay, that is not going to be a retrograde burn. That is, of course, going to be... Oh yeah, we'll grab our magnetometer report as well. There we go. And we'll collect everything that we can. There we go. And we'll position here for our 23.2 meter per second burn. And we will go ahead and fire this in a moment. Right about... It kind of doesn't matter when, I think, but we'll do it now. Okay, there we go. And yeah, this was what I was concerned about, actually, was the darkness coming in before we got here. So I'm actually going to give this an orbit or two. Probably 3 orbits, actually, now that I think about it. I'm going to cancel this auto warp, and we'll do a manual warp, and we'll let this come around to the day side. Something along the lines of that. So now after this orbit, we'll just come in for our landing, and we will set this as our target. There we go. And I think we're going to need to burn this up a little bit more. So over here, we're just going to alter our inclination a bit more to be something along the lines of this. But let's see what that actually ends up looking like when we get a little bit closer. Let's warp to that maneuver. Yeah, it's going to have to be a little bit less extreme, and we're okay with this. We're going to have it be a bit more like that. Excellent. And we'll just position for that. It's going to be a 2-second burn. And we will go ahead and advance. Okay. We'll burn this right now. Good enough. Okay, and then once we arrive about here, we'll do a full retrograde burn and kill our relative speed. Something along the lines of that will do. I'm mostly just using that as a marker, and we want to be in surface retrograde mode at this point. We'll go ahead and warp to the next maneuver, though, because we're bringing this down, definitely. I would love to grab another mystery goo observation and materials study. Sadly, we can't collect it, and I'm wondering... Oh, we need to go reset this, actually, is what we need to do. But we need to burn this first, for sure. And We'll burn this in just a moment. We'll probably grab these on the way out, actually, is what I'm thinking, the in-space near. Yeah, we'll just make sure that we reset it. And we'll just warp until T-minus 7 seconds. And we'll burn this now. Excellent. And down we go. Fantastic. Actually, you know what? We're going to be falling for a while. Let's have Bob EVA now. And let's extend this ladder. And down we go. We'll restore the Science Junior. And we will open the service bay and restore the Mystery Goo containment unit. Technically, we closed the service bay. Let's extend that antenna as long as I'm thinking about it. There we go. And we will go ahead and board. There we go. We'll grab those. And, of course, we will collect that. And then we'll have Bob EVA again. And he will come down here and restore the Science Junior. And he'll collect the data here. Now, we don't actually need the data from the Mystery Goo, but we'll go ahead and conduct the study. We'll keep that, and we'll open this again. And the Mystery Goo, we will go ahead and... Yes, Ellie, I know. I know that you like to go out, but you'll have to wait. We're almost done. We'll restore the Mystery Goo containment unit here. We'll observe that. And we will collect that data. And restore it one more time. And close the service bay. And then we will collect the data from the Science Junior. And restore that. And then we will head on in and store those in our service module. Excellent. Next, of course, we will begin our descent profile. However, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we will actually complete our descent. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.